Hi, hello, namaste. A very good day to all the people, those who are watching video over there. Welcome to With Academics. Today I am back here with one more new chapter which is a very important, that is for 10th grade students. Periodic classification of elements. Okay, so let's get into the chapter. Let us know what and all we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. Before that, let me introduce myself. I am your science tutor Asha Nayak here at your With Academics. So let us glance at the outline of the chapter. We do have an introduction part. Then we are going to discuss about the early attempts at the classification of what elements, and we will see below that Daubernier triads, Newland's law of octaves, then Mendeleev's periodic table, the modern periodic table, and we will see their position of elements in modern periodic table, and at last trends in the modern periodic table. Okay, so in this particular session we will discuss about the introduction part of the a chapter. Clear? So let's begin the session. So what everyone might have watched this Harry Potter series, right? There you might have found this. This is what? This is a what is this philosopher's stone? That is magical stone. The person who do have that particular stone will gain the power of being immortal and will be having the power. This is a magical stone that which will convert the metals into stones. Okay, metals into gold. Sorry. So this is a magical stone which do convert metals into gold, and the person who will have this one will be immortal. Everyone will be that much great that everyone will have that desire to be immortal and be a rich, right? So, but it was known only to the scientist, that is the person Nicholas Flamel is the only known maker of the philosopher's stone, but no one knows how to prepare this philosopher's stone which do help to be immortal. Okay, the only person who knows to prepare or make this philosopher's stone was Nicholas Flamel. Okay, so this is an object, that is philosopher's stone is an object that have a capable of turning the metal into gold and granting immortality with its elixir of life. Okay, so he was the only one who knows to make this philosopher's stone. So many were trying to prepare they tried several times to prepare this philosopher's stone, but we know that they tried several reactions and sometimes it led to their death also. Okay, so once what happened, the scientist, clear? In 1969, the German physician, what he did, that is the scientist physician Hennig Brandt, he attempted to prepare this philosopher's stone. How he took a human urine, okay, with a mixture of the sand and charcoal. So he started boiling that mixture of human urine and sand and charcoal, okay, for several days. One day he observed a glow in this tube. Okay, this is the boiling tube where he kept boiling this mixture of human urine, human urine and sand and charcoal. He started boiling and one day he observed a glow, and that led to the discovery of a element phosphorus. Okay, phosphorus is the first element which discovered scientifically. This was the first element discovered scientifically by the scientist Hennig Brandt. Clear? So he was trying to prepare this philosopher's stone and it led to the discovery of this element phosphorus, okay, scientifically. Okay, so by the time many elements were discovered, okay, then it led to the classification because so many elements were there. Okay, then scientists studied the properties of elements and based upon the properties it was classified as. We do know that we do classify the things to make easier in learning. Okay, so they classified metals and non-metals. They classified the elements into metals and non-metals. The scientist Lavoisier, he was the first person to classify the known elements into metals and non-metals based upon a particular properties. But there existed some other elements which do have a property of both metals and non-metals. That is, sometimes they do have both the properties, sometimes they don't have either both the properties. Clear? So that led to the confusion. Then where to group that one, where to place that one. Okay, so then they started thinking that it is not a correct way of classifying the elements. Yeah, Then we do have a what? John Dalton. Okay, he was the first scientist to measure atomic mass. Okay, John Dalton, the first scientist to measure atomic mass. Clear? We do know what is atomic mass and all, no? So atomic mass, that is the atomic mass of the atom, that is which gives sum of the protons and neutrons in the nucleus is nothing but atomic mass. So based upon this one, the scientist, okay, based upon that idea, the other scientist what? Try to classify the elements. Okay, by the time we have around 118 elements are discovered yet. Okay, so in the 118 elements that we know, okay, at present 118 elements are known to us. Out of them, okay, around 118 elements are discovered. Out of them, only 98 are naturally occurring. 98 elements are naturally occurring and others are what? Prepared one. Clear? So, we do have around 118 elements. How to study this one? How to study the properties of that one? So, we do classify to simplify this learning, right? To simplify the learning process, that is to learn the properties of all these 118 elements, they started discovering, okay, by keeping the idea of atomic mass. Why do we classify usually? Why do we need a classification? See, you can see here a heap of books, a pile of books, right? So, it will be difficult to pick a book that which you want, right? So, what we will do, you will group it. You will classify the books like based upon that genre, okay? If it is a particular subject books, they are grouped and okay? They are grouped and placed in one separate rack, right? Similarly, if it is the story books, it is the books which have stories in it, we do group it in some other rack. But what we are doing here, we are classifying, we are grouping the books based upon a particular property, right? Similarly, these 118 elements are classified, okay, based upon their particular properties and led to the modern periodic table. So, we do, to reach that modern periodic table, we do have several attempts to reach there. Several scientists attempted, okay, their own laws, their own ideas they implemented and they tried and they failed. Okay, the one very first scientist was Dauber-Nierites. The first attempt was the Dauber-Nierites in the year 1817 and later in the year 1866, Newland's law of octaves discovered and then comes a scientist, our Mendeleev. Okay, so in the year 1869, Mendeleev's periodic table was established and it is reformed. At last, which is a modern periodic table, that is by Henry Moseley. That is Henry Moseley's modern periodic table in the year 1923. So, we have these many attempts. These many scientists were attempted to discover this modern periodic table, that is classification of elements. Okay, let's see in the next session what and all, who are they, how did they classified the elements, what were their ideas, why did their law got discovered and led to the invention of other law. Okay, so till that you have to wait for the next session. That's all for today. I hope I made the concepts clear. So to have a better learning experience with us and to watch few more interesting sessions like this, do subscribe Vidvat app, and guess what, we are in the following social media. Go there and follow us to get all the updates of activities of our Vidvat. At last, to be the best, always choose Vidvat. Until the next session, keep sharing, keep subscribing and keep loving us. Thank you.